Good morning, folks. This is Deb Delapiana. And hang on a second here. I need to do something because, I have a limited amount of time on TikTok. Right? Okay. Hi. Okay. So this is your short take. We're going to talk about the midterms real quick here. So let me say this. People don't understand why the Democrats might be a little bit excited about the situation we're currently in. Here's why. It has been longstanding political tradition that the party in power loses either the House or the Senate at the midterm stage. And that's because, I hate to say this, because I don't want to encourage anybody, but a lot of people take the midterms off. They just, hey, what the hell? Who needs to fucking vote? Who needs that right anyway? Well, you'll need it when they take it away. And that's the goal of the GOP, but it did not work this time. So we have lost fewer seats in the House this cycle so far than we have in 40 years. Okay. And that's a good thing. That's a sign that people voted on the Democratic Party side. And it's a sign that women voted. And the bottom line is this. I'm going to say this, and I've said it before. If the vast majority of Democrats get off the fucking sofa, stop taking the midterms off, stop taking sometimes the presidential elections off. I know people who don't vote in the presidential elections, okay? If people would stop doing that in the Democratic Party, we would never have to worry about the MAGAs for sure, because they are not in the majority in the GOP under any circumstance, should you ever believe that, okay? We wouldn't have to worry about the Republican Party at all, because the Republican Party, even on their best day, offer up to the American people virtually nothing to help them as Americans make their lives easier. And they certainly spend plenty of time trying to oppress groups of people that they know won't vote GOP. If every Democrat voted, which is a pipe dream, it's never going to happen, we wouldn't have to worry about these fucking slugs. But let me talk to you about where we are real quick. Right now, we are close in a lot of House races, and I believe that the ownership of the House will come through California. There are a lot of tight races out there that are still being counted. We have Carrie Lake on the ropes in Arizona. She may not be the governess. That's what I'm calling her, because she's a bitch. She is one of Donald Trump's biggest lieutenants. She is a crazy-ass election denier who has openly stated that people shouldn't be allowed to run as Republicans unless they're willing to state that the 2020 election was stolen from Donald Trump. She's on the ropes out there. Her election, I checked this morning, is not settled. Katie Hobbs, I believe both of them have 50%, somewhere in the 50% percentile right now, and Katie Hobbs has the lead. Will that be a runoff? I don't really know. In Georgia, there will be a runoff December 6th between Herschel Walker and Raphael Warnock, who has served, by the way, in the Congress from Georgia with great distinction his first term. Herschel Walker hasn't done anything but play fucking football. He can't string a fucking sentence together. He is an assaulter of women. He has impregnated many women. He has paid for abortions, but he's virulently anti-abortion. He doesn't even believe in an exception if the woman's life is in danger. Okay, because that's the way it was meant to be if that happens. And I'm going to once again call out the hypocrisy of the Bible Belt when it comes to abortion. I guess it's okay if it's your candidate that has not only suggested abortion to the women he's impregnated, but paid for them. Where are we with Lauren Boebert, who, by the way, before the election, went on Twitter and wrote a bunch of stuff about Democrats, calling them this, calling them socialists, calling them that. And she said at the end, today we'll call them losers. Well, I haven't heard from Lauren Boebert on on Twitter now for hours because Lauren Boebert is actually losing to Adam Frisch as we speak. So here's where we are right now. We are still counting votes in the Senate and in the House. And what the outcomes of these counts will be is the determining factor on who owns the House and the Senate for the next 2 years. Now, we could lose the House, but we need to keep the Senate. We need to keep the Senate because we need to do exactly what the GOP does to us. We need to block whatever they have planned. But by the way, I wouldn't worry about too much legislation because the GOP has already telegraphed what they intend to do. They're going to investigate Joe Biden. They are going to try to impeach Joe Biden. And by the way, Donald Trump has suggested that they want to impeach him twice because that's what the Democrats did to him. Okay, this is all about retribution on behalf of the Orange Jackaloon. Okay, they're going to waste your taxpayer dollars investigating Anthony Fauci for doing his fucking job. Okay, for doing his fucking job in public service. Okay, whether you, I'm fucking tired of hearing about, COVID. I'm fucking tired of hearing about the vaccines being killers. I'm tired of all of that shit. That shit has all been proven to be more right-wing construct and bullshit. They're going to torture Anthony Fauci for 2 years. They are going to misappropriate your taxpayer dollars. You're not only paying for their salaries, you are paying for their fucking health care as they try to take your health care away. Because, by the way, getting rid of the Affordable Care Act, which is in their minds still called Obamacare, and they hate Barack Obama almost more than anything. They would love to get rid of Obamacare and take all of you folks out of the running for health care. But you pay for their health care. I have a real problem using my tax dollars to pay for Marjorie Taylor Greene to have anything. I'm going to suggest to you that these midterms were never about anything but democracy versus fascism. And I'm going to suggest to you that where we are in these midterms right now is not where we have ever been at any time that I can remember in my lifetime at midterm level. And I have been at this for a long time. I have been a political junkie, a follower of where politics go in this country. I was looking at the Christian right and Christian nationalism as a problem back in the 90s. I was warning people. I've been at this for a while. I haven't seen anything like this. There was supposed to be a red wave. Last night, Kevin McCarthy had his digs all decorated for the new red wave that was coming to avenge Donald Trump's loss in 2020. That party did not happen. Nothing makes me happier. People, I need you to pay attention to what I'm saying. I thought about giving all of this up before the 2024 election, but I've decided that that's not a plan for me. I can't just sit around and watch what's going on here because it's not over. We started out this process of the midterms with about 147 seditionists in office right now. If you count the people who voted to overturn Joe Biden's election. Okay. When we started the process of the midterms, we had almost 200 election deniers, either in the House, in the Senate, or on the ballot. We are now at about 177. So their numbers have gone up with the number of people that are still hanging and waiting for decisions on this election. It's going to take a long time to clean up this mess. But you know what? I'm going to say this again. The Democrats could solve this problem just by voting without violence or having to invade the Capitol. Wake up. And we'll keep you posted as this moves along. Have a good day, and I'll talk to you all later.